into it. A couple topics we about to fly through. Literally just a couple. We first talking about Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears being accused of abuse with this new skit that they did in a lawsuit. It's a civil suit. And women who stay single and don't have kids are getting richer. Is that true? Definitely want to talk about that. Need a woman's perspective on that. We listened to Ari Lennox Away Message EP. We watched On the Count of 3 on Hulu, and we're gonna talk about some sports. That's all coming up. Starting with Pop Tops. You kicking with KC, baby. Let me clear my throat. Popular topics that may or may not be talked about in the news. We first starting with this Tiffany Haddish Aries Spears joint right here. This is coming from NPR.com. Turn that down a little bit. So, civil lawsuit filed in Los Angeles Supreme Court. This is against Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears, both comedians. This is a skit that was shot back in 2014, 2015, 2014, basically. There were a few skits actually that involved some kids, but basically, I don't want to get too graphic about it because of YouTube stuff. But basically, it was real graphic in regards to showing. The point of the video was this: they were saying, don't leave your child with anybody. Watch who you leave your child with. That at the end of the video, that was the message. That was the whole point. It was from the eyes of a predator or something like that. So Aries Spears was doing some creepy stuff, and he had the kids. Him and Tiffany Haddish had kids doing crazy stuff. So this is my whole perspective on it. A lot of people are upset now that the video is recirculating. It's been taken down from a lot of places because it involves minors. But for the most part, my girl, I got it. I actually saw the full video, at least one of the videos that involved the boy. And it was, I'm not gonna lie, I felt a little uncomfortable. As a man and as a parent, I felt a little uncomfortable at what I was looking at. But if I'm gonna be honest, there's a lot of shit on TV that makes me feel uncomfortable as a straight man. So I looked at it from that perspective, like, yeah, it's uncomfortable, but comedians push the bar all day, every day. So I'm thinking from that perspective. I did think it was a little weird, but then I'm like, okay, it's comedy. And I did laugh at some part. Actually, one of the parts where he said, what did he say? My girl was like, I can't believe he laughed at it. He was like, yeah, I went to school with Jerry Sandusky. Like, he come from the school of touch and don't tell. That sounds so wrong on the surface now I say it out loud. But anyway, that was funny as hell to me. But anyway, a lot of people are coming out saying this is wrong. There was a civil suit filed from the parents of the children, who they are saying is Tiffany Haddish, longtime family friend. That's what the lawsuit described the plaintiff of this situation. But she's a John Doe, and she's accusing I really don't want to talk about that. I got the description all in the bio. Check it out. But listen, the whole point is, what are the boundaries of comedy? If there are any boundaries. Because I, as somebody who, I'm not going to consider myself a comedian, I just like to have fun. I like to push the boundaries of comedy also. But I've seen all types of comedy. Dark, super dark comedy, that's funny. I've seen light comedy, slapstick comedy, all types of comedy that I can laugh at, not laugh at, whatever the case may be. I just take it as it is what it is. But is there a boundary to comedy? Is there certain subjects that people should not talk about? Is this going too far? I think and I said this to my girl. Looking at it from the lens of today, in today's society, how sensitive people are. Not only sensitive, but they run with the theory of group bias or group think. If they see a crowd of people, if they see a storm of people on social media or the internet feeling some type of way about something, they tend to follow that same group think. And looking at it from that perspective, I'll be like, okay, yeah, this is horrible. This is bad. But looking at it subjectively from my perspective, just looking at it knowing that it's comedy and it contains two comedians, I'm like, okay, yeah, I laughed at one part, but I was definitely a little bit uncomfortable. Point is, should they be charged with child abuse or sex abuse, whatever the case may be? I don't think so. They say that the longtime family friend has been basically putting their name out and bashing their name about this for so long. My point is, what role does the parent play in this? Where were you at when they was filming this whole thing? Was you at work? Did you just let her run off with your kids? Be honest. Did Tiffany Haddish and or Aries Spears pay you for permission to use your kids and you just signed off? Because you got to play some role in this responsibility. You got to play some responsibility in this. That's what I'm saying. These kids don't have any authorization to sign themselves off to do this film. So please tell me, like, where's the parents' fault at this? I need to know her story because I didn't get that. I'm getting all Tiffany Haddish is wrong, Aries Spears is wrong. It definitely looked creepy, but they're playing the role of whatever the skit is. That's the perspective that I'm looking at it. Now, would I let my child do that? Hell no, nigga. That don't mean I don't think it's funny. It's some Dave Chappelle skits with kids and stuff. It's all types of skits I see with kids, and I be like, that's funny as hell. I wouldn't let my kid, I be like, damn, I can't believe they let their kid do this shit. I say that all the time. I can't believe they let their kid do this shit. And this is another one where I say, I can't believe they let their kid do this. Now, here it is from 2013, 14, all the way to 2022, and now the lawsuit is coming out. They're being accused. The video's resurfacing. I don't get it. I think it's all planned time. I don't want to go into conspiracy thoughts or theories, but I'm just asking the questions. What are the boundaries of comedy, if any? So what should not be talked about in comedy? And then my second question is, should Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears be held as suspects of assault? Let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat in the comments and even call into the show, 313-466-4386. Let's keep it moving with this next one. I'm hoping I get a call in for this one right here. Women who stay single and don't have kids are getting richer. This is what they're saying. This is coming from Bloomberg.com and a few other sources, actually. It's pointing out the fact that single women without kids had an average of $65,000 in wealth in 2019, way back in 2019 BC, before Corona. This was compared with $57,000 for single child-free men, according to new research from the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis. Now, I didn't even know the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis or any bank does research like this, but okay, it involves money, so it makes a little bit of sense. But they say for single mothers, the figure was only $7,000. Woo, Lord have mercy. That is crazy. So 44% of Americans age 18 to 49 who don't have kids say it's not too likely or not at all likely they will procreate someday. An increase of 7% points from 2018. So now they're saying, and I've seen a few articles that said this, Gen Zers, kids these days, they aren't even thinking about kids. They're not thinking about being parents. Now, as a millennial, I'm telling you, it already took me a while to even think. I wanted kids. I want the family. I got my son now. I'm starting my family. But now it's like, I'm in my 30s. Like, my parents and the generation before, they was doing it in their 20s. Parents before them doing it in their teens. Now we doing it at 30s. The next generation saying, if we do it, we either going to do it super late or we might not do it at all. Are we looking at some type of eventual humans not even wanting to procreate? Just wanting to thrive and live their lives? The whole story behind this actual article, it talks about a woman in her 40s without a child who's living successful, her version of successful, in New York, has like two homes, took 10 vacations in a 12-month span. That sounds like auntie rich auntie vibes all day, every day. Which ain't a bad thing. The expenses in bringing up a child born in 2015 through age 17 will run an estimated $310,605, according to the Brookings Institution. Over $300,000 it takes to raise a child. That's not including college. What the hell do your kid need? That's about to cost $300,000 over a span of 17 years. Now, I'm going to be honest. I can see me spending $300,000+ on my child in that span. But that seems like it seems like one, but it doesn't. Honestly, I don't know if this is coming from upper class, middle class, lower class. I don't know exactly what they break this down into. But it's calculated and adjusted for inflation trends and things of that nature. But it doesn't include college. $300,000. So they say the next generation and people are saying, we don't really care about kids. And single mothers, not single mothers, single women with no kids are thriving. Way more than men with no kids, actually. You'd be surprised. Is the average child worth a $300,000 investment? Can we just think about it like that? Let's think of your kid as an investment, right? Just like the couple in India that I did a story on in my earlier seasons. Think of your kid as an investment. You're literally putting $300,000 plus into your child over that lifetime. You're raising them. You're teaching them the principles of life, what to do, what not to do, or you letting them run free, whatever the case may be. Do you think having a child is worth a $300,000 investment? Let's think about what your child. Let's be real. Let's think about the advantage of having a child. Eventually, when they grow up, right? They become they can comprehend. They're coherent. They can start doing dishes, doing chores, housework that you don't want to do, cutting the grass, doing the dishes, taking out the trash. This is part of them, learning to be an adult, getting responsibilities. But these are your benefits as a parent, right? Okay, that's probably not gonna add up to $300,000 quite yet. All right, so now they get a scholarship to a college. You save some money there, but that once again, that wasn't even including college. So you see what I'm getting there? So unless your kid really becomes like successful to the point where they just like buying you a house or taking care of you, or they just like a rich famous person, is it really worth $300,000 to have a child? I think a lot of people or the next generation is saying, hell no. $300,000, nigga, my son would be lucky if he get a sibling at this point with me knowing that number. Would you rather be rich with no kids, no significant other? I'm talking about you solo dolo as hell. Every night, you might get some, but you solo, but you rich. Or would you rather live an average life with as many kids as you want, they all taken care of. You making just as much money with a significant other to take care of all of y'all. Y'all not struggling, y'all just living an average life. Which would you rather have? Me personally, I'm gonna take having as many kids as I want to, nigga. I fuck around, have a LeBron McIntosh. Yes, sir. Yeah, give me the kids. I want to raise a Magic School Bus worth of kids out this mug. That's just me. Let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat in the comments. Call into the show 313-466-4386. Let's switch, bitch. Talking about music in the audio audit. I was on my R&B vibes. We listened to Ari Lennox. Away Message. This is an EP, which means short. It stands for extended project or something like that, but it's definitely short as hell. So anyway, 5 tracks. Was it 14 minutes? 5 tracks, 14 minutes. Very, very short listen. Shorter than the time that I like my projects to be. So it's like, do I take this serious? What is this? Like, but anyway, it's a quick little project, quick listens that she put out, quick compilation. The main song that stood out to me was the first song, Queen Space, featuring Summer Walker, which is her only feature on the project. It has a star on it on Apple Music. That's what I listen to. No endorsement. But it has a star on it, so I don't know what the hell that means. Maybe that's the most popular song on the project. But it's a nice vibe. When I was listening to it, I'm like, you know who Ari Lennox remind me of? Erykah Badu. She just sings to the tune of creating a vibe. And most of her songs, even her singles, Hours and Hours, Baby Boo, which I hate Baby Boo, but all the other ones that we playing on Power 96.5 WQHH Lansing, they're vibes. And it reminds me of Erykah Badu. Now, I hate to compare artists to other artists because I know it's about originality, but, that's what I feel. So we'll see how long she lasts with that being said compared to Erykah Badu. I think she sets herself apart a little bit, especially with that goofy-ass Baby Boo song, or that commercial-ass Baby Boo song that I should say. But that's what I think. It wasn't a bad project only because it was a quick-ass listen. 5 tracks, 14 minutes, on average about 3 minutes per song. So it was all right. It was it wasn't a bad listen, but I'm not her demographic once again. But objectively speaking, 15 minutes worth of time you really can't kill. I mean, if you just listen to it, but give it a quick listen, literally, and let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat in the comments. Call into the show 313-466-4386. Let's switch. We gonna talk about TV shows and movies that we seen on the screen and corn stream. Nah, I mean. I'm gonna talk about this one. On the Count of Three on Hulu. This was starring comedian Gerard Carmichael, and it was also directed by comedian Gerard Carmichael. Now, I don't know how I want to talk about this movie. Overall, it was a good movie. Let me just stop hating. It was a good movie. It touches on all types of emotions, topics, but it's based on two best friends, a black dude and a white dude, played by Christopher Abbott, the white dude Christopher Abbott, and the black dude Gerard Carmichael. But basically, they depressed as hell, and they come to the conclusion that they want to kill each other or have a suicide pact by the end of the day. God, I gotta remember not to talk about stuff like this on YouTube. But the point is, they want to log out. They want to log each other out. And they say, hey, by the end of the day, we're going to do this. So they start to try to live like a last day on earth life, but they were still acting like weak as hell. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna watch my wording. But they was acting weak as hell, bro. And corny. But they started to do some things. Long story short, one dude wanted to get at a doctor that had assaulted him when he was a boy. And another dude, the Gerard Carmichael, what did he want to do ultimately? Get money back from his dad, because his dad stole from him. He's getting Tiffany Haddish was appearances and cameos from J.B. Smoove, Tiffany Haddish, Lavelle Crawford was in it. That was interesting. For my white people, Harry Winkler was in there. He was in there. That's the coach from the Water Boy. But anyway, it was a great movie. I'm not gonna lie, this was a good movie. When it started off, me watching as a heterosexual black man from Detroit, I'm like, what is this goofy ass shit? I'm like within the first 20 minutes, and I'm watching The Purpose, and I'm watching what these two dudes about. I'm like, man, these niggas goofy. I ain't thought about life like that, like they did. Not to the point where I really want to kill myself, bro. Like I haven't been to that space, so I'm like, man, what is these niggas on, bro? But overall, yo, it played out to be extremely interesting and good, I will say so myself. So at first when I watched this, I said, I ain't telling nobody they should watch this goofy stuff, but watch it. I would say overall, this is a movie about forgiveness, man. Forgiving other people and forgiving yourself, man. God, this is a good movie. I watch this again. And I hate that I actually like this movie, bro, because when I first watched it, I was like, I'm going to shit on this movie. But as the movie went through, I was like, damn, this is a good-ass movie. Oh, On the Count of Three on Hulu. Watch that shit, man. That shit goofy, bro, but it's crazy as hell, man. I don't even want to really tell the movie for real, and I spoil movies, but I don't really want to spoil this, man. On the Count of Three, if you've seen this, let me know what you think in the live chat in the comments, or call into the show 313-466-4386. We about to go ahead and switch it up, man. Let's talk about sports, baby. From the stands of a sports fan. Not too much in the NBA to talk about. Let's just keep it 1,000. The only real update, Donovan Mitchell was traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers. You know what I also want to talk about? The fact that Russell Westbrook, Jeannie Buss, the owner of the Lakers, said Russell Westbrook was was the best player on the Lakers last season. She said that in the press. It got sent out. It was everybody had their feeling about it. But then she was like, well, what I should have said was he was our most consistent player, because he played 72 of 82 games or whatever the case may be. And I understand that. Listen, Russ on the outside, on the surface, he didn't play too well. He had a bunch of turnovers. He didn't score too well. I mean, he might have screwed up in some key moments. I understand that. As a Russell Westbrook fan, I understand that. Trust me. But Russ still showed up damn near every night, played with still comes out there with the adrenaline and with the energy like it's his first night. let me chill out. I'm a Russell Westbrook fan. Let's talk about I love this nigga. I fucks with Russell Westbrook, bro. So for her to say that he was the best player, I would say I agree. In regards to your consistency, your energy, how you kept it up, I get it. Now a lot of people are saying, hey, they gotta talk positive about him because they decided and they know that they can't trade him. So they gotta make the best of it. Okay, even if that is the case, recognize that he is a triple-double king, he is a future Hall of Famer, and he's a legend regardless. I would love for him to get a ring. I know you need a ring to really be that GOAT for real. And I'm gonna give Russ the same energy, even though I fucks with Russ. But you don't get that ring, brother, it's over for your, I ain't gonna say over for your career, but you don't get that status like that real nigga status, bro. Let's just keep it 1,000. Let's switch up sports real quick. We're gonna talk about the NFL because the NFL preseason officially ended, but the season officially starts this Thursday. Is that the 8th? That's the 8th. That's the 8th. Thursday the 8th. You got the Los Angeles Rams versus the Buffalo Bills. That's the only game going on Thursday, September 8th at 8:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then my Lions, they're going to be going against, they're going to be hosting the Philadelphia Eagles. Philly, come with it. Sunday. What's that? The 11th. September 11th. Sunday, September 11th, 1 p.m. Let's get it in, Lions. We're going to be watching the other games. We're going to talk about that. But you know what sport was really popping this weekend, though? College football. College football was going off. Couple big games to really talk about. Alabama is ranked number 1. To big surprise, they beat Utah State. I don't even know what they had business playing these niggas. 55-0, as they should. Number 2, Ohio State beat Notre Dame. Number 5, 21-10. Number 3, Georgia smacked on Oregon, who's number 12, 49-3. Number 6, Michigan beat up on Colorado State, 51-7. Michigan State beat Western Michigan. Michigan State is ranked number 15, 35-13. And then North Carolina versus Appalachian State. Now, neither one of these teams is ranked. But this is interesting because North Carolina won 63-61, only by 2 points. But Appalachian State scored 40 points in the fourth quarter, bro. 40 points in the fourth quarter. And still took the L. I was like, oh, hell no, bro. Man, hey, that says a lot about both these teams. But North Carolina still got the dub, so shout out to North Carolina for that. But college football is officially back. Let's shout that out. College football is officially back, so we got some real sports to talk about, and football going to be starting real soon. Let's talk about boxing, MMA real quick and end it. Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence. They're gonna complete that deal real soon, the 12th or the 19th of November in Vegas, but we're going to give you an update as soon as that goes through. Clarissa Shields, Flint's finest, going to be fighting Savannah Marshall September 10th, O2 Arena in London for the middleweight championship. Deontay Wilder versus Robert Helenius, October 15th, pay-per-view, Barclays Arena. Deontay Wilder, first fight since like way back October, was this during the pandemic, October 21? Can't remember, but anyway. And then Jake Paul, he's going to be fighting 47-year-old former UFC fighter Anderson Silva. They're going to be fighting in October also. I don't think I have a date for that also. They say it's his most challenging fight, but yeah, sure, whatever. All right, but yeah, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the show. Coming up, you kicking it with KC.
If you're like the average American, you are broke and wondering, hey man, hey, how could I become rich overnight? Well, the answer is finally here. Millionaire Macintosh's Real Estate Seminar. This weekend only, I'll be in your town, hosting my very successful real estate seminar, teaching you how to flip houses with other people's money for only $499.99. But wait, call now and get a free copy of my book, Millionaire in 24 Hours. Actual results may vary. Invest at your own risk. Millionaire Macintosh Real Estate is not responsible for failures or broken dreams. If you're like the average American, you are broke and wondering, hey man, hey.
What up? Kicking with KC, thinking out loud, right? So yesterday, I was taking my son, to see his grandparents for a night, I should say. To see his aunt and his grandparents for the night. And we got caught in traffic. I'm talking about to the point, construction is one thing that just makes my blood itch. But we is in construction to where it gets down to one lane only, and there was a car that broke down. Held traffic up. I'm talking about we were literally in the same spot, didn't move more than a quarter mile for 2 hours. 2+ hours, about 2 hours and 15 minutes. And I'm just sitting there, and you know what's crazy? I was patient the whole time. I had my 10-month-old son with me. I still fed him, changed him, everything. Took care of him, he cried, went to sleep, everything. And I still stayed there. When the problem was solved, we went through, and I got to our destination. My thing is about patience. How do you know when you really are a patient person or not? Because the people I told that story to said, I would have just turned right around. Everybody I told that story to said, I would have turned right around. I'm like, I didn't. Does that make me more patient than you? Does that make me a patient person in general? Patience is subjective, but I don't know, man. That's just me thinking out loud. I consider myself a patient person. And I had my son with me who was crying the whole time. And that's just me thinking out loud. Let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat in the comments. 313-466-4386. Call into the hotline. But actually don't call, because we about to get up out of here. You too late for all that. But check this out. I need you to do me a favor. Follow me on all social media. Or should I say kick it with KCMC on all social media at KIWKCMC on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And you got to follow my sponsors. The brand, Team Elite on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Team Elite 313. That's TEAMELITE 313 on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And for that premium urban athleisure wear, that's athletic leisure wear, casual wear, check out their website, teamelite313.com. Ask your mom, baby. Hey, let me get that up out of here, that graphic right there. All right, listen, man, I appreciate you for kicking with Casey again. We live up in this thing. If you got this far, you gotta do me a favor. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the alert so you know when I'm going live, because I'll pop up on you on any time. Hey, also share this with a friend and donate. Donate some dough to the show so we can grow. You know, I'm buzzing like little cousin, man. Appreciate you for kicking with KCMC. Tell a friend and tell a friend we out.